Hi, I'm Sartu and I have something to say. Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing well and yeah. So in today's video, I want to talk about the whole idea of starting again and how fucking scared I am of starting my life over, and the fact that I'm 28 years old and I feel as if I don't know what I'm doing in my life and I don't have control. Apologies for the screaming outside. There are baby kids outside screaming their heads off. Amazing. But yeah, so let's get into the video. So over the last year or so, I feel like it's been like a general consensus amongst a lot of us that we've had time to really think about life and also where we are in life and also where we want to go and everything. And I have definitely been doing that. I think I've been doing it more often now than ever before. I would always say more than often than usual. And I feel like I'm in a constant wave of emotions. At one moment I'm like full of confidence and ready to go and really ready to take my life by the balls. And then sometimes I'm literally in crippling anxiety and just self-doubt within myself that leads me to kind of still be stuck in where I am right now, that I feel it doesn't fulfill me or work for me. So it just kind of made me think, do you know what, like I really want to talk about this and really put myself out there to be able to know that I have control of my emotions, but also not to feel embarrassed about how I feel, but also where I am in life. I think definitely there's a huge stigma and taboo when it comes to aging, especially when you get to your later 20s going into your 30s, with the whole concept and idea that you should have everything all figured out by now, and that you should be doing this and the other, you should be making this much money and this and all that kind of great stuff. And I kind of feel like I ain't doing that. And especially with a lot more younger people becoming more successful at a younger age, which is amazing, it's great. I think that does add a lot of pressure, but also it gives a warped view about what life is like, but also what someone's journey is like as well. Where I really do find myself feeling very embarrassed about what I do right now, even though it's not my career path, it's just a job that I do so I can survive. But yeah, I feel very embarrassed about saying about where I work, what do I do, and also just about what I want to do in the future. I think it's one of those things where what I want to do, sometimes it's hard to put into words, and I'm just like, don't talk to me. So I think that's just what it is. And I just kind of thought to myself, I'm at the stage in my life now where I want to have control. And with that being said, this is the first step. And the whole concept of starting again is something that I feel that we always continue to ask ourselves whenever we enter a new time in our lives or a new chapter and everything, or feel that it's necessary for one chapter to end, basically. So yeah, just being as personal and as raw as possible. I have been going back and forth with the whole idea of leaving my job, and I've had a lot of people say, no, don't do that, Sartu. I had a lot of people say, yes, do it, Sartu. And I've even gone through the phase of being like, yes, Sartu, do it. And then I've gone through the phase of being like, no, bitch, don't do that. No, okay. So I'm at the time now where I feel like I want to ask the question, how do you start again? But I think before I even ask that question, I need to really dive into why do I want to start again? But also, why do I find it difficult to do so? So I broke it down into 3 reasons why. There's probably more, but those 3 reasons are the umbrella to everything else that's like bubbling in the mind of Sartu and in the soul of Sartu at the moment. So number one of the reasons why I find it difficult to start again is the whole concept of failing. Failure is something that is inevitable with life and with anything that you do, but at the same time, I just can't seem to get with the program. So I avoid failing as if coronavirus, as if So I just avoid the whole idea of even putting myself in that situation to fail, just because I feel as a person I cannot handle not doing well. So sometimes I don't even start. I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, if I don't start, then there's nothing to fail at. But at the same time, even in life, you have to be able to put yourself out there. You have to be able to fall and then know that you can get back up and keep going, which I find very difficult to do, but I'm learning to do now and everything. For example, I already started recording a series called Starting Again, where I asked different people about their starting again stories and how they felt, and also how they're doing in life, and was it the right decision, did they have any regrets, all that kind of great stuff. So I basically set up the camera and I was out of shot. Even though the conversation was amazing, it was compelling, and my friend did a great job expressing herself and expressing her journey, I was like, I have fucked up. I don't want to do this no more. I don't even want to post this because I look stupid. Like I cut myself out of half of the fucking video. But obviously I need to learn that you're gonna make mistakes, and I need to know this and remember this. At the end of the day, now I definitely know for next time I'm gonna triple and quadruple check that I'm in frame. And I bet you I'm not gonna fucking be out of frame again. And I think that's what I need to remember. And number 2 is self-sabotage. I think sometimes I feel as if I am not good enough, and I kind of talk myself out of doing things that I know that within my soul and my heart I know I can do. But then I just start to second guess myself and be like, but what if this happens, and what if that happens? And then I just turn myself into a little shell of myself and be like, you know what, I can't do this because I don't have the skills, I am not like this, I'm not like that, and blah blah. I'm basically tearing myself apart, and also being my worst critic and not being nice to myself, which is not helpful in any situation. And yeah, and what I can say number 3 is definitely running from my problems and not resolving them. I feel like that is something that I do just naturally. I just try and avoid anything that's gonna make me feel uncomfortable, and just try and just forget about it until the next wave of emotions happens and I'm like, fuck, I'm literally drowning, someone help me please. For the last 6 years, I have not been dealing with my problems properly and just continuing just to coast and get by and keep my head above water. And now I've consciously made the decision to actually seek more help with my mental health and understand that it doesn't go away after diagnosis. You really truly need to find your process and how to navigate through life with your diagnosis, and understanding that it's just the way that you process life is different, and I'm just learning how to understand how I process life, accepting that, and also not allowing it to hinder me, but allow it to be something that I work alongside. So that's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, basically I feel like the whole idea of starting again is something that I'm very afraid of, and even making this video and openly saying that I'm 28 and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I still work in retail, even though my brand is amazing where I work and the girls I work with are amazing, my manager is amazing, and I have amazing friends and I have a roof over my head. I still feel as if I'm being judged, and I feel embarrassed about who I am as a person, but also where I'm going in life. I think this whole idea of people just assuming that I'm not ambitious just because I'm doing a certain type of job, which is completely wrong. I feel like some of the most talented people on this planet have worked in retail and are still working in retail, and it doesn't mean anyone's less than or better than or whatever. They just work in retail and they're amazing human beings. And trust me, I've worked with people that are illustrators, people that make accessories and jewelry, make girls, tattoo artists that are amazing, beauticians that are great, and fashion people. So to people that judge people in retail, like, fuck you. I honestly, fuck you. I can truly say that's probably one of the things that makes me insecure about where I'm going in life, and also makes me second guess if I'm able to do anything else. But I need to stop thinking like that and understand that I have so many skills and so many qualities to give to anything that I want to do, and I am enough and I can do this. Thanks guys. I feel close to you now. That is the end of my video. I just wanted to talk about my relationship with starting again, and I'm going to be doing a series on my YouTube channel asking the question of how do you start again, but also what do you do if you find yourself in a dilemma with the idea of starting again. So yeah, This is a challenge to myself to stay consistent and to push myself and be vulnerable, because I find it very hard to be vulnerable. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you this video that Lauryn Hill did Welsh. I think she was doing a speech at university, and I think this one is a true sentiment to what the idea of journey means and what does that look like to people. Ah! Oh my god, I almost died. And I'm gonna leave you with this amazing video that I feel really touches me whenever I watch it and keeps me on track and understanding and standing in my journey and not being ashamed of that. See you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching, and bye.
The Matrix was battling the enemy out there, picking them out. I'm gonna find those enemies, I'm gonna get that enemy, until I realized that until you conquer the enemy in yourself, you can't deal with anyone. In order to be used by God, you have to really be used. You know, we always want to be used for the glorious jobs. Let God put me on the stage in front of the people in the Grammy show with a nice dress on. Let me just praise your name. But that's not being used. Sometimes in order to be used, you also have to be humiliated. You have to be humiliated sometimes. You have to be kicked and beaten. And in that situation, the person who's kicking and beating, he's feeling more pain than you are. You know, love is an incredible thing, and we don't know love like we should. We always talk about, I have unconditional love. Unconditional love is, we don't even know it, because if a person stops stimulating us, we stop loving them. You're not interesting to talk to anymore. Goodbye. But that real love that sometimes is difficult, difficult to have, that's that love. And that's a confidence builder.